chaos consumes a small town when a chemical facility explodes, releasing a deadly toxin. Moments after the leak, the town's residents show signs of mutation, causing the military to quarantine the area, leaving any survivors helpless and trapped inside. The story follows Jim, a young man isolated within the red zone, as he eludes flesh-eating zombies in an attempt to win back his freedom. Considering everything that's going on at the moment, I was thinking that this episode might be a bit much. But in the first 5 minutes alone, State of Emergency displayed so much authority on its tone and approach that I simply could not stop once the getting was going. State of Emergency is a stately, I'm here forever folks, and slow-paced zombie film that is well acted, has plenty of atmosphere, and has well-written characters. Films such as State of Emergency don't come round as often as you would like them to. Whilst not cheap, it's certainly not a studio film, and it's a very competent affair that is economic in its storytelling and has all the core elements down, such as good cinematography, editing, acting, and writing. If ever you're in luck to be in possession of enough money to make a half-decent film, then products such as State of Emergency are where you go for inspiration. Through using its sparse amount of production value where it's needed most, State of Emergency manages to tell an impactful and deeply atmospheric zombie film that is filled with suspense and dread. It's fantastic work, and I highly recommend it to any fans of the genre and slow burn filmmaking fans in the process. 6 college friends unite for a weekend getaway where they find themselves fighting for their lives after a terrorist attack turns the local residents into rage-infused zombies. Zombie slasher. I have described this mildly entertaining film in 2 words. A terrorist attack fucks up a house party for your usual teen slasher lineup, and the result is a weary southern fried tangent on 28 Days Later. Not as trashy as I wanted it, not as inventive as I wanted it. The majority of this film is just a bunch of screeching, shaky cam and very dumb decisions. Running around closed off streets with a bunch of feral supporting artists chasing them, the cast do little to engage, and that would have been fine if the film was not passing itself off as something half serious. And that ending was simply a kick to the balls. So much so that it almost made me unrecommend this film. But it's just 30 seconds of shite, so I guess, I don't know, this film is kind of shite all over really. The Demented was setting itself up in the beginning to be something fun, but somewhere along the midpoint it started to take itself seriously, and that was the wrong choice. It's a very average film that was at the time a contemporary approach to the zombie genre, but has now considerably dated. It's unremarkable. But still, after all this, I feel myself recommending it as a one-off time waster, but nothing else. In a post-apocalyptic future, a biological warfare program gone wrong leaves only 4 survivors defending themselves from the infected, mindless killers. As they struggle to survive and make sense of what is happening, they find another survivor intent on revealing the truth. With a similar opening to Mad Max 2, it was my mistake that this was a signpost for some kind of homage. Instead though, it was an establishment of tone from this Israeli zombie film that suggested its combination of theological pontification and survival horror. I made it sound more interesting than it actually is, but Another World does feature engaging characters that are acted really well. I was genuinely surprised by the quality of performances within Another World, and their chemistry made time fly like a breeze. However, there is a fair share of God talk and arse gazing, which could put you off understandably, and the majority of this film is talking, which its DVD, of fucking course, always does not suggest. However, unlike other examples of dirt cheap affairs covered up by mismarketing, Another World has charisma, it has some nice locations, and it doesn't have a lot of zombies. If the idea of an Israeli Walking Dead takes your fancy, then I would recommend giving this one a watch. So, in conclusion, State of Emergency is a hidden gem of low-budget zombie filmmaking that is moody and well acted. The Demented is an average 28 Days Later clone on which your mileage may vary, and Another World is a unique, let's say, Combination of real talk with your dad and zombie-demic shenanigans. Stay safe out there.